Hello, I'm Simon Badman from Social Bee, and today I'll be talking about how to prevent membership churn by using Facebook groups. Social Bee has been around since 2008, and we've had the privilege of working with some great sports organisations, including the RYA. Today, we'll be looking at setting up private and public Facebook groups. We'll be looking at planning content and posts ahead of time. We'll be thinking about tips for engagement and time-saving tips. As a volunteers for clubs, this is probably low down in your priorities. So how can we help you save time with posting into groups? And we'll talk about shared administration as well. Facebook groups are one of the options that Facebook offers for clubs to get involved in Facebook. The other one we'd recommend having a look at as well are Facebook pages. Facebook pages are quite powerful tools and can be used for engaging with members, but probably more importantly, thinking about increasing participation, thinking about groups you want to bring into your club from your local community. There are other videos on Facebook pages. We'd recommend having a look at them in the club zone. But what about your group? Well, anyone can set up a group. Simply go to the groups function on Facebook from your own account, set up your group, add in some information about the group, start inviting people to that group, and put a header in as well. In terms of the types of group, I think this is quite fundamental for any club to consider. So we're aware that within sailing, there are a number of clubs that use closed groups to talk to their members. Some use public groups to talk to their members. On the whole, I think personally, I would prefer a closed group to talk to my members. Why? Because if members want to share photos from regattas or events, that's not going out to a wider audience who could simply be looking at the open group and seeing what you're posting, for example. Similarly, if there's a discussion about the changing rooms being dirty or boats not being put back in the right order, that's not something I'd want to go into a public space. So I'd encourage you to really consider having your group as a closed group if you can. Once you've set your group up, you can invite anyone who's on Facebook. Facebook will take you through a process of trying to suggest your friends, your connections on Facebook to you, but you can simply type in the names of other members you might not be friends with on Facebook as well and find them. Get a header for your group, make sure it looks loved. You can change the header on a regular basis depending on what's going on within your club. And probably one of the most important things to think about as well, probably very least love section on any group, or for that matter any Facebook page, is the About section. Put in stuff about your club, its history, its story, the kind of opportunities there are for sailing within your club. Maybe you might want to put in contact details as well, but make sure you keep this section up to date on a regular basis. So great, you've now got your group set up, but what about the content you're going to put onto the group? Well, don't forget to think about the audiences you have within your members. What's going to grab their attention? What sort of subjects to put onto the group are they going to be interested in? What sort of images, what sort of videos are going to grab their attention as they look through the group? Make sure the images, the words are relevant to that audience in particular. And we would say to you, actually, be proactive on your group. Think about setting up a content calendar. If you have a regatta coming up, for example, think of using your group to manage the process of recruiting volunteers, of getting people to sign up for different classes of the events you're going to be running within the regatta, for example. Think about spreading that over a couple of weeks period, so you're putting out slightly different messages per week, and think about almost like a campaign mentality to posting within your groups. And before I post, I'd actually want to come up with a mental checklist of why I'm posting. What is the reason I'm posting to this group? Also, what do I want my audience to do from me posting? Who is the target audience? What image will grab their attention? How can I make my content engaging? Think about what I want people to do from the post. What are my calls to action? Is it back to the website to sign up for something or download something? Or do I want discussion below around a subject that might be important to the club at the moment? And don't forget to consider timings as well. When is the best time to post? When are people online likely to be using this Facebook group? Some ideas for content could be uploading activity images and videos, sharing articles and expertise to get a response back from your community, starting discussions, asking questions. Two-way communication works really well in social media. It works really well in Facebook groups. Offer exclusive Q&A sessions with experts within your club, for example. Share a positive feedback to encourage club members. Create calls to action. What do you want to get people to do? Is it a survey? Is it a poll that you're producing? You can do this in a whole range of third-party tools. The one on the screen here is actually a Google Doc, which could be a good thing. Don't forget, you can share announcements around your club as well, stuff that's really important to your club members, such as tickets for coaching events. And you can also share events to your group as well. It's a great way to invite your members, ask them to share and promote it. One of the nice features within groups is actually you can post a whole range of document files, from PDFs right through to Word files. What happens when you start posting a number of these is they appear on the right-hand side as a library of documents. So you could actually use your Facebook group to host some key documents that your members might need to know about, or forms that they might need to fill in on a regular basis. Engagement is crucial as well, though. It shouldn't all be one way coming from the group administrator or the group moderator. What are some key tips to mention then to help engagement? Well, I suppose the first thing is to say, let discussion flow. Don't over-police what's going on there. Make sure your members feel comfortable and safe to have a conversation in your group. Having said that, you might need to lay down some guidelines about what's appropriate use of the group and what's appropriate content and appropriate tones to use in the group. But please, don't shut conversation down. Let the discussion flow within a remit of making sure people are safe. So groups are great. We've looked at content, we've looked at how to set your group up and how to create engagement and manage your group. What are some time-saving tips then that I can help you with as a volunteer? Well, one of the nice features within groups is actually you can schedule posts in advance. So if you're busy and you're thinking about a campaigning approach to an event that you might be pushing in your group, you can actually schedule those 4 or 5 posts over a number of days to go out as reminders. Dare I use the word nag reminders? You know what I mean by that, encouraging your members to sign up or whatever you're trying to get them to do. You can also screen new members of the questionnaire. This is quite a nice thing. So one of the issues you might have is just trying to work out, is that one of our members? I'm not sure who that is. Why not put a questionnaire they have to fill in? Or when I say questionnaire, it could be simple 1 or 2 questions you put up for there. Just make sure they're part of your club in particular. You can add your group to the shortcuts on your own personal Facebook timeline as well. So one of the things I find with groups, unless I've done this, I have to search around and hunt around for the groups I manage and the groups I belong to. And why not add them as a shortcut? Another nice feature as well is the Facebook search feature has got really good in recent years. You could use that search filter to search for group comments and posts that have happened in the past, and you're just looking to see what's there if you want to. But I suppose the key things about time saving is don't take all the responsibility on yourself. Think of a shared admin approach to your group, and we'd encourage you to do this if you've got a Facebook page as well, because you're spreading risk through your membership rather than just having it land on one person's doorstep. What you can do in the group, you can actually add a range of administrators. You can add moderators if you want to as well, so people can have slightly different roles within the group, but you can then get them to help manage the group a lot more effectively than just one person. Don't forget about your passwords though. One of the key things we would say is that if you're adding people to admins on your group, this is a club resource. Encourage them to think about their passwords. Encourage them to think about making their passwords hard to crack. You could use a tool like LastPass, which would help you with this if you want to as well. But think about security, especially once you move into social media, especially when you move into Facebook as well. Some of the key things to say about Facebook: it changes a lot. There's lots of changes every week. If you want to stay up to date with Facebook's changes, have a look at its own updates, business privacy, newsroom as well, I'd say. There are industry blogs out there. Social Media Examiner is superb. HubSpot are great. Mashable social media is great as well. And we also produce a sort of round robin of all the updates of social media on a Friday, which you're more than welcome to sign up for on our Social Bee website. Don't forget though, we're continually posting content on the Club Zone, so check out the Club Zone. There's lots on there. Simply go to the Club Zone at this URL, log in and have a look. There's lots of videos and lots of other great resources as well. So what have we been looking at today? Well, we've looked at how to set up private and public Facebook groups, and as I said, personally, I would want a private group for my members. I don't want that conversation happening to an outside world, an outside audience. Think about planning content and posts ahead of time. Think about having a content calendar. And then we talked about tips for engagement, thinking about who you're posting to and how you grab their attention, thinking about engaging words and content around that and call to actions. We talked about time-saving tips. Think about scheduling. Think about sharing the load as well. Think about shared administration, which is also a great time-saving tip. So that's it for today. Hopefully you'll be able to set up your Facebook group if you haven't got one already, or if you have one in existence, you'll be able to manage it a lot more effectively from today. But just to say, if you have any further questions or thoughts, please contact your regional development officer, or please come to us as well. Here's our contact details. We're more than happy to chat with you. Thanks very much and all the best. Bye.